Good evening and welcome. My name is Carlene Hurdle and I'm with Lord Fairfax Community College Workforce Solutions. And we are coming together tonight to talk about some really interesting funding that is now become available to anyone who's been impacted financially by COVID. And this is particularly to Shenandoah County residents. And so I just wanted to welcome everyone who's here and talk a little bit about this and give some information. And then at the end, have some time for questions. So if you look on your screen, you see this gentleman pulling back sunnier days. And that's really what we're talking about here is what we're calling the big reset. And what this is we're talking about what does life look like when we start getting back to normal, and how can some folks get to a better normal than where they're at now. And so there's been some folks rallying around and really coming together to help those that have been financially impacted by COVID to upskill or reskill, retool, and get out into a really stable job industry at this point. So a little bit about the scholarship, and I'll give you the high points now, and then I'm going to kind of go through some examples so everybody can see, well, how would this work? So the CARES Scholarship is for all Shenandoah County residents that have been financially impacted by COVID. And what does that mean? That could be directly. You could be financially impacted because your job had a reduction in hours or a reduction in pay, or maybe just a complete layoff. It's any of those things. Or it could be indirectly. It could be a spouse in your home whose finances were affected and it lowered your household income. So any of those things would qualify. And I guess the biggest thing that I would say here is if you're not sure that you meet the qualifications, please don't just bypass this money. Come and talk to us. We can help you navigate any of the funding streams that we have, but this one in particular is a fantastic opportunity for folks to take workforce classes through Lord Fairfax Community College. And these can be classes that aren't starting right away. They could be classes that start after the first of the year. So, you can start making your plans and getting those things in place now so that you can have those brighter, sunnier skies ahead. Oops, I went the wrong direction. Okay, here we are. So Workforce Solutions and Continuing Education. I just give you a little bit of a background. So we are the side of the community college that is focused on credentials that really are directed towards the high demand and self-sustaining wage jobs in our area. So we provide the relevant workforce training, and what that means is it's tied directly to the business community in our region. So we meet the demands of our employers by designing programs that are made for individuals to take and get the skills that they need to get directly into some really good jobs. Just to give you an idea a little bit more about the programs that we offer, they're typically short in nature. So instead of, years, you can train in weeks or months. So we offer over 1,000 courses a year, online, in person, hybrid. We have every sort of format that you can think of. All of our instructors are industry professionals who are working in the field. Many of our programs are for credential-seeking professionals. We have on-site training. If a business would like for us to bring our training on-site, we can do that too. So I invite you to take a look at our catalog. It's lfccworkforce.com/catalog. And if you look, I've got the cover of our current catalog on the screen. And this is a gentleman who started with us, went through our HVAC program, and now he is employed by Micron Technologies in a fantastic job. So we don't even use stock photos. These are the types of success stories that we enjoy highlighting. And we really feel like this scholarship can give individuals the opportunity to really develop those success stories. And we're just so excited to be a part of that. Some of our career pathways, just to give you an idea, I said that they are aligned with business and industry. So in the healthcare sector, it would be things like a medical assistant, a phlebotomist, a pharmacy technician. In the IT space, we do all of the CompTIA certifications. So CompTIA IT Fundamentals, CompTIA A+, Network Plus, Security Plus. We also now offer AWS Cloud, which is great, huge demand for that, and all of the Microsoft training certifications. I think everyone knows how much logistics has been impacted by COVID, and so commercial drivers are in huge demand. And so we do have commercial driver's license program for either a Class A or Class B. And just to give you an idea, the in-person full-time Class A program is 20 days. So you could be eligible to sit for your Class A license within 20 days. I can't speak to the DMV and their backup or where they're at in all of that, but I know we can get you through the training within 20 days. We have responded to the huge need for our tradesmen by offering plumbing, electrical, and HVAC license programs. So these are apprenticeship programs that are designed to help you get your journeyman license. And then in addition to that, we even respond to the construction demand in our area. There's a huge need for heavy equipment operators. Something on the magnitude of 5,000 heavy equipment operators are needed to provide jobs in the infrastructure projects that are going along 81, 66, and 95. So we have the first in-state heavy equipment operator program. It's really state-of-the-art, taught on simulators, so it can be done indoors at any time of the year. We typically do a lot of those programs in the wintertime, so you're coming right up to it right now. So the timing is perfect for that. Let me take a sip of water here. Okay, so I just thought I would walk you through just an example of some of the funding. So for many of our programs, I think we have about 22 programs that are eligible for what is called fast forward tuition pricing. And what that means is if you have been a Virginia resident for the last 12 months, you're eligible. It's not needs-based, it's just for Virginia residents. And what that means is the state will pick up 2/3 of the tuition. So if you follow this example that I have up for heavy equipment operator, it's an 88, oh my goodness. Did you see that? My whole screen went crazy.
I saw like a little jump, but it didn't do too much on my end.
It went completely away, so I'm back now. Sorry about that. So if you look at the heavy equipment operator program, it's 88 hours, hands-on, in person, taught on weekdays or weeknights. The full price tuition is $2,994. And if you're a Virginia resident, your price is $998. And then if you layer on top of that this CARES scholarship, the price is only $249.50. So that gives you an idea. In this case, for these fast forward programs, that represents a 92% savings off of the full price, which is such an incredible deal, especially when you think about this leading you into a career pathway. And just to give you an idea, our heavy equipment operator program is supported by the Heavy Construction Contractors Association. They represent about 175 companies, and they work with us. We have embedded actually in the curriculum a guaranteed interview. So if you go through this program, you're guaranteed an interview with at least a half dozen companies in the industry. So this is a fantastic program for someone who'd like to retool and get back out there. And construction projects are here to stay for quite a while. Then I thought I'd run through an example of a medical assistant. So similarly situated, this program is lengthier. It's about a 160-hour program. It takes about 5 months. It's taught on weekdays or weeknights. The full price tuition is $3,195. For Virginia residents, that reduces it down to $1,065. And then if you layer the 75% CARES scholarship funding, that student price is only $266.25. So again, represents that 92% savings. So in this case, the eligibility requirements would be you're a Virginia resident living in Shenandoah County, and you've been impacted in some way financially by COVID. And that's it. And your price is $266.25. So it's just an incredible deal. I wanted to just give you a snapshot of some other programs. You know, there's a lot of programs that this applies to any class that we have, but I thought I'd highlight the ones that are in the Shenandoah County area that are in particular high demand. So CDLA, phlebotomy, pharmacy tech, plumbing, HVAC, electrical, PMP. I mean, if you've always wanted to get that project management certification, you can do that now for $350, which is just absolutely unheard of. And then of course, you know, we have a huge demand for computer basics. There are those folks out there who need to get skilled on how to use a computer. And that class is normally about $300. This brings it down to $56. So it makes it very, very affordable. Of course, we don't expect you to try and do all this fancy math or anything, or try to, navigate these funding streams. That's what we're there for. I always geek out when I see these things, but if you wanted to, you could hold your phone up to the screen, and you can capture that QR code using your camera, and it will take you directly to the application. So I just wanted to point out the application does have a number of classes listed on it, but this is not the only classes that you can take. You can go onto our website and you can look and see any of the classes that we offer are eligible for this CARES scholarship. So anything that you can imagine that you can take that we offer, you can get 75% off if you're a Shenandoah County resident that has in some way been impacted by COVID. So now we're placing the challenge back on you. Help us share this information, help us get the word out. I think the biggest hurdle that we have to jump is that folks think that maybe this doesn't apply to them, but I can't think of too many people that I know that have not been impacted by COVID in some way financially. So just think about that and then consider sharing out. We have it on social media. It's for me, social media is limited only to Facebook, but we do have it on Twitter, we have it on Instagram, we have it on LinkedIn and on Facebook. So if you are a part of any of those platforms, please consider sharing the information out. And then again, I've put this QR code. You can take a picture of it. If you want to just hold your camera up to it, it'll take you to the website, but help us share out the information. And of course, the website we've made very easy, lfccworkforce.com/SC for Shenandoah County. That is everything that I have to talk about. I'm happy to go back through the slides or answer questions or go through anything that you may be thinking about. And if I think of anything additional, I'll add that too. But Jenna, can you tell me if there's any questions out there?
Yeah, one that came up as you showed some of the pricing for different classes. I know some classes, in order to get your certification, you actually have to take multiple classes that may start right now, but there may be follow-up courses into next year. Can you explain how that might work with the scholarship even beyond 2020?
Sure, yeah, that's a great question. So let's say, for instance, someone wanted to get involved in the trades and they want to take a plumbing 1 class, but then they also want to continue because there's 4 classes in that series. There's plumbing level 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's the same for plumbing, HVAC, or electrical. What we would do is the scholarship applies up to $2,000 per student. So we could register a student in plumbing 1 and in plumbing 2 at this time under the scholarship. They would only be required to pay their 25% portion, and then they have secured their classes for the next year. So yes, it's a fantastic opportunity. It can perpetuate for an individual who has multi-level classes.
Great. Another one on, would we need to take the classes at the Middletown campus?
No, as long as you live in Shenandoah County, that's the qualification to receive the scholarship, but it's any class at any of our locations. And that's really helpful because the date may be better at a different location, or maybe you're coming from work and you drive right by one of our campuses on your way home. So any of our locations, any of our classes, and even all of our online classes. So consider that as well, because we have about 400 online classes as well.
Great. And just to piggyback off of that, I know that in addition to the online classes and the classes at multiple campuses like Page County and Fauquier, that you guys have even on occasion, if there's enough demand, been able to offer classes here in Shenandoah County for a couple of programs. I think there was an Excel course that was recently offered last year down at Triplet Tech. So that may also be a possibility if there was enough demand in a particular course to customize something here for residents.
Absolutely. That's a great point. And we can do that. We just have to have enough interest. And our classes are typically really small, particularly with COVID. We've even scaled that back. So we can make a class with as few as 4 people, and then limit it to as many as about 12. So we are keeping our classes really small. That gives you all that individual attention from the instructor, as well as allowing you to feel safe being in an in-person, hands-on setting.
Great. The other thing, and I think you did talk about this when you showed the application, but the application itself shows a handful of different courses that people can take, but they are not limited to those classes that are listed on there. Anything within your catalog is available through this scholarship. Is that correct?
Right. Yes, and I would say even beyond that, anything on our website, because we don't even have all of our online courses listed in the catalog. But yes, this is just a set of recommended courses, and we've aligned this to the job postings that are available. So if you are looking for a job that very directly aligns with current open active positions, I would recommend using this list. But if you're already employed and you're just looking to stack your credentials or add some additional knowledge on, then please select any course. It does apply to any course that we have. We just did this list so that we could really highlight the courses that are aligned with open positions in the area right now.
Great. So if somebody was interested in applying for this, is the best course of action to just go straight to your website and download the application and submit it? Should they talk to somebody in your office first? What's the best way to go about that?
I would highly recommend that the first thing they do is download the application, which again, you can get by clicking on the QR code or by going to lfccworkforce.com/S as in Sam, C, or S as in Shenandoah, C as in county, and fill out the application. We also do live chat. We'll speak on the phone, whatever is comfortable for the student. This particular type of registration, because of the funding and the requirements and everything, we are doing those registrations in person, and we are staffed from 8 to 4 Monday through Friday at our Middletown location as well as our Fauquier location. So if someone wants to come in and bring their application and sit down and speak with someone, I'll be honest with you, there's so many different funding sources out there right now. There's even a private group called Virginia Ready. And what's really cool about that is if, let's say that I print out this application and I'm approved and I take my project management professional and I get that credential and then I submit that to Virginia Ready, well, then they'll pay me $1,000. So now I'm up some money on this. I've actually received back more than I've put into it. So there's a lot of opportunity out there, and we would love to have that opportunity to work with students. It can be overwhelming trying to keep track of all of these different funding sources. So I would recommend that it start with a conversation with someone in our office, just to make sure that, a lot of times folks just really aren't sure what they want to do. They think, okay, healthcare sounds good, but tell me a little bit about the job. What does a phlebotomist do different than a medical assistant? What hours does a pharmacy tech work? Is that weekends? And so questions like that we have answers to. We also have a vast amount of information on our website, especially in our healthcare and our trades areas. We call them need to know notebooks, and they have all sorts of additional information. We have career outlooks, so you can see what the average pay is and really take that deeper dive. So I would invite folks to print out the application, see what's on it. It's a pretty simple application, and then either call us, get on live chat, or come by and see us, and we'd be happy to have those conversations.
I don't see any other questions in the chat, but I just wanted to piggyback too off of what you said. For anybody that may be watching, there's a lot of active openings for a lot of the courses that you guys offer. It's worth noting that we do have companies right here in Shenandoah County, and I know throughout the region for that matter, that are hiring in a lot of these types of areas, like you mentioned, CDLs, machinists, all of those are really in high demand right now. So a lot of the courses that people can take advantage of for really, really minimal cost right now, and hopefully get their foot in the door at a lot of companies right now.
Yes, you are so correct. And I will say too, think through this application, think through how it might affect you, how it might improve your position where you're at now, where it might help you catapult into a new position. And then just have that conversation with us. We're more than happy to help folks navigate this. The time has never been better for doing this. It is a small window, though. We really do need to see folks no later than December 11th to get these registrations in place. And again, we can register them now for classes that start in 2021. So the rush is on for the registration, but not necessarily, you're not necessarily having to commit to taking classes right now. And I think that's important because some folks are, already committed through the end of the year, which we totally understand, but there are a lot of good classes starting up in the winter months. And I don't know, I think about, we winterize our homes and we winterize, our vehicles, but do we winterize our professions? Do we take some time out at the beginning of the year to really set the course for the year ahead? And I think that's what this scholarship really provides the opportunity to do. So we're super excited about it. Really excited to partner with Shenandoah County. So thank you, Jenna, for everything that you guys have done, to make this happen. And, I have my contact information up, happy to take any calls personally or any emails if anyone has any further questions. We're always available to you. I answer my phone all the time because technology is great and it finds me wherever I am. So if you call, there's a good chance I'll answer. So please do, if there's any questions or if you just want to talk through what some of the classes are, we're more than happy to help out.
Thank you. This is great. We're thrilled about this partnership. We just see so much opportunity here for our residents and also our businesses.
Thank you, guys. We really appreciate it.